knockout fragrances for men. So basically fragrances that are irresistible, super attractive. I've compiled a small list of fragrances that are just like that. And as always, all the fragrances that I mentioned will be available in the Amazon associate links down in the description below. Now, I'm going to start with one that I think is just one of the best. It's actually one of my favorites in terms of men's fragrances. This is Narciso Rodriguez Bleu Noir for him. This is a cardamom, nutmeg, kind of spicy type of fragrance with some musk, some ebony wood, and then, you know, some amber and cedar and things like that. This is absolutely delicious. Sometimes I just wear this myself, even though it is a men's fragrance, just because it's such an attractive, warm type of fragrance. This is really long lasting. I would say minimum 7 hours, but it can go probably up to 9 hours for a lot of people. This is one of those kind of mysterious types of fragrances, like, you know, if you, I guess, want to be mysterious, whether you go out to the, you know, the bar or wherever you plan on going, this is definitely going to bring some attention towards you. And projection, really great. General performance, really great. Just a well-crafted fragrance overall. Also really good for cold weather, you know, during winter time. But even if it's not cold, it's still good as an evening fragrance. But definitely not a summertime type of fragrance. Definitely, it's too warm for that. Too warm and heavy for that. But in general, really, really attractive type of fragrance with those musk notes, those spice notes, that sort of thing. There's some amber in there as well. But yeah, you can't go too wrong with this. It's just generally a very likable, attractive type of fragrance. Now, moving on to one that I also think is a really good option. This is Dior Intense. I love any version of Dior but I would say the Intense is probably one of my favorites. It just has a unique approach to what it's trying to do. It has some ambrette in there, it has some iris in there, it has a little touch of sweetness, but also has some muskiness. It just kind of does everything, and it does it really, really well, which is a hard thing to do. But of course, Dior is always up to the challenge, and they managed to make a really delicious men's fragrance here. This is very long lasting. I would say minimum 8 hours, probably 8 to 10 on average. And again, this is just a really, really attractive fragrance. A little bit more mild, I would say, than the Narciso Rodriguez one. More kind of smoothed out, but very, very, I mean, if you look anywhere online for this thing, you're gonna get a bunch of like 5-star reviews, because most people really, really enjoy this fragrance. So you can't really go wrong with it. It's one of those fragrances where if you're unsure, just go with this one and you'll be good to go for most occasions. Now, going for one that is a bit more on the niche side of things, I would say Leighton from Parfum de Mali. This is kind of similar to the Narciso Rodriguez Bleu Noir in terms of its spice notes. It has some of that cardamom sort of exotic spice to it, but it makes a departure in that it's actually surprisingly sweet. Some people are not big fans of the sweetness that it has, but I think it works kind of well with the spice notes that it has, because, I don't know, it just kind of creates this kind of smoldering, spicy sweetness that I quite enjoy. Again, definitely really good for cold weather, just because it's so warm and pretty heavy. But anything from Parfum de Mali, super high quality. This will last a long time, great projection. Again, the main thing is the sweetness, so if you're unsure about if you like the sweetness or not, you could kind of drift over this one, but if you are open to sweeter fragrances, this is a really fun, very attractive option. Now, going on from this one to something that is kind of the opposite, really not sweet at all. Tom Ford Tobacco Oud. This is a super attractive fragrance. and definitely not for the faint of heart because it is so strong and so intense. This is, again, tobacco oud. Those are the main notes you're going to be getting here. So the tobacco offers a certain leafy smokiness. The oud itself obviously is musky and woodsy and very kind of intense and bold. You mix those together, you create an even more intense and bold mixture. This is very, very strong. Minimum longevity, 9 hours. Really good projection. It will spread across the room effortlessly. You don't need to put on a lot to get the desired effect. And very much like a straight to business type of fragrance. There's no playing around here. Again, very minimal sweetness. It's really more of a pure musk, pure woodsiness, pure smoke type of fragrance, which again is not for everyone because it's so strong and so bold, but I like it. I think it's a pretty good option for men. It also has a certain naturalness to it from that oud, just that natural woodsiness and depth to it. So definitely if you're looking to try something very heavy, very forward, not sweet at all, and also very long lasting, then Tom Ford Tobacco Oud is definitely a good thing to consider. Now the next one, which I have to mention, not quite as crazy heavy as the other ones on this list, but still very classic, very effective. Creed Green Irish Tweed. This is one of those ones that, came out in the 80s. It was a classic then, it's still a classic now. It's kind of like the gentleman's fragrance. This was designed to be very sophisticated, very collected, balanced, elegant even. Has some notes of lemon verbena, some violet, some ambergris, or some musk in there. So really you get a really nicely balanced, primarily fresh and natural fragrance, with the lemon verbena and everything, but then you mix it with the musk of the ambergris, which is kind of more of a marine musk sort of thing, and then you create this really, really wonderful type of men's fragrance that is actually very unique even today. It's very unique in how it approaches this certain vibe that it has. So definitely a really attractive option if you don't want to go super heavy with your clones. Maybe you just want to do something more collected, fresh, with a little bit of musk, that sort of thing. Because again, this was designed to be very elegant, very sophisticated, more formal. So if that's what you're going for, Creed Green Irish Tweed is the way to go. And it has relatively good longevity for this type of light fragrance, about 6-ish hours, 5 to 6 hours of longevity. But that is pretty much my list of these knockout fragrances for men. So hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you did, of course you can leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.